fell out of a trolley.
Yeah. And he rolled on down the hill. Well, at the bottom of that hill, he met a lady with big nose. What happened to the lady?
So the waves were 50 feet, they were massive. Myself and 3 other guys went surfing there, so we were really lucky to score those big waves. Very scary, but really good as well.
I think that was it, wasn't it?
So we are here in Surf and Surf with Jose Stapleton. Yeah, hi Jose.
Hello, how are you, man?
We are going to speak about your jobs. One of them the surf instructor and the other the DJ.
And the DJ, yeah, surf instructor and DJ.
Yeah, okay. So let's start with the first question, that it's, where are you from?
I suppose I'm from down south, a place called Cork, but I've moved up here because of the waves, so, but I'm from Cork.
And where do you usually surf? There or?
Well, if I'm not out on the beaches, I try and get out on the reefs, depends. If it's the peak sometimes, then maybe if not, Black Spot, but usually always the beach anyway, at least.
And which is the biggest wave that you have ever surfed?
That I've ever surfed, maybe like 10-foot swell, so 2-something meters, double plus overhead. That was scary. I don't know how they surf the big waves.
And do you travel a lot to other places to surf?
Trying to, yeah. Started, been to 2 places surfing. I've been to Morocco, been to Indonesia, and hopefully Mexico this year.
Okay. And with the other job, when do you start with the DJ?
With the DJing, I start about 10 o'clock at night.
Okay. Yeah, but where?
No. DJing, I jumped straight in there. I just started DJing one evening, and before I knew it, someone was giving me money for playing music. And I thought this was really easy money and lots of fun.
And which is your DJ name?
My DJ name's Stapleton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we staple the tune onto the dance floor.
Okay. And did your parents support your way?
My parents, no, the mother was against it all. She was like, seriously, no, don't want you DJing, don't want you surfing. But as soon as I got signed by Globe and DC Sports and all those, I made millions of euros from it. My mother was so happy then.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you enjoy your life?
Do I enjoy my
Yeah.
life? Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. There's some mornings it's tired or it's cold, but in general, yeah, I love my life. Get to go surf and hang out and teach kids how to surf and play music at the weekends. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so we finish with the questions.
Okay.
Thank you for.
We go for a surf.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go for a surf.
Yeah, just get through. I expect you each day. Needs to come a little. I guess can't reach far. I shall make sudden. I guess fair, me, really happy with you.
Hi, Ciaran.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, I'm going to start with the first question. It's, where are you from?
I'm from Ballyshannon. I moved out to Bundoran here about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe. And I grew up in Rusnada in Bundoran, by the beach.
And how old are you?
26.
Okay. And when did you start playing?
When I was about 16, I started playing the guitar, maybe 15. And before that, I just beat on anything like anybody does.
Who is your idol?
My idol?
Yeah.
Wow. I think anybody that can make it playing music that they like playing is definitely enough to be an idol for me.
What is your favorite music in general?
My favourite music tunes? I gotta say, I'm fond of traditional Irish music. I also like, I like funky music, I like reggae as well. I really like classical music. And opera too, believe it or not, and orchestras, yeah.
How many instruments do you play?
How many instruments do I play? I have a little thing that for the last few years, that every year I learn a new instrument. So I've been doing it now since I was about 22, 23. So you can do the maths there.
Where did you perform your biggest gig?
Probably recently in the Kick and Donkey. Yeah, the whole night was just brilliant from start to finish. We really, really enjoyed it, and everybody else seemed to enjoy it as well. Yeah.
What's the furthest you've ever travelled to before?
Cork. Yeah, not that far.
And what's your main goals for the future?
To go on, continue doing the things that I like to do, and hopefully I can get along and make a living out of it as well. That's the optimum goal.
Okay, so thank you, Ciaran, for coming. It was a pleasure having you here and interviewing you. So that was all. Bye.
Sianwell.
Sean get fired.
I'm here with Richie Fitzgerald in Surf Gold. He's the owner of Surf Gold, and he's a professional surfer. Hi, Richie.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to Surf World.
Thank you.
Good man.
Where are you from?
I'm from this town, Bundoran, County Donegal, northwest of Ireland, born and bred.
And where do you usually surf?
Where do I usually surf? Well, we've got good beach breaks here, like Tull and Strand. You've probably surfed our main beach break here. It's very consistent, you get loads of good waves. And then out in front of the shop here, in the town front, we have the Peak and Pampa, which are world-class reef breaks. So we have a nice mix of easy waves, medium waves and hard waves. So I surf all of the waves from the beach breaks to the reef breaks.
Okay. Which is your biggest wave you have ever surfed?
Luckily, Bundoran is very close to Mullaghmore, which is in County Sligo. It's only 5 miles away, and it's one of Europe's best big waves. And back in 2007, in December the 1st, 2007, we got a 50-foot swell there. So the waves were 50 feet, they were massive, and myself and 3 other guys went surfing there, so we were really lucky to score those big waves. Very scary, but really good as well.
Do you travel to another place to surf?
Yes, I've been everywhere. I've been all around Europe, Spain, France, Portugal, overseas, Hawaii, Australia, Indonesia, South America, Central America, the Caribbean, everywhere you could imagine. I've pretty much been there.
Who did you inspire surfing, or
Who inspired me?
Yeah.
Living in a small town here, like I've been surfing for 30 years, so, you know, a lot of the international guys, you would see them in magazines. This is before the internet, before any of that stuff. So, you know, surfers like Mark Occhilupo, Tommy Curran, Tom Carroll would have inspired me internationally. But really back then, before, you know, online, when you were just watching, you know, videos and before DVDs, I was more inspired by the local surfers here. Guys like Brian and Kevin Tobin were very influential. And then guys I grew up with like Jimmy Meehan, the McGlone brothers. You know, we were all a big group of surfers, so we kind of egged each other on, and the locals and the international guys inspired me evenly. Yeah, that's a good answer for you.
how much do you surf in winter?
Me, when I was your age, when I was younger, up until maybe 5 years ago, I would surf every day. Winter, summer, I didn't care. Bad wetsuit, hole in my wetsuit, bad board, rain, hailstones. I'd be out every single day. But now that I'm a bit older, I only get in maybe 2 or 3 times a week in winter at the maximum. But when I was younger, mate, I was out all day, every day.
We know, what are you looking for the future?
What am I looking for in the future? Obviously we have a business here, so I want surfing to succeed not only for my business but for Bundoran, for all the other businesses that rely on it. So I always try and give a positive image to surfing here. You know, publicize it in a good way. So hopefully grow the business, keep it growing year on year. And then personally, I'm married with children, so bring up your children correctly is very important to me as well, which it is in Spain and Italy and a lot of European countries, so we've got that in common, I think. Good man.
Did your parents support your
My surfing, yeah. Of course they did. My parents were really supportive. You know, I was like any other boy that grew up. I played soccer, you know, Gaelic football, but surfing was my sport, and by the time I was 15 I was surfing on the Irish team. So back then we didn't have many sponsors in Ireland, so I was sponsored by my mom and dad, and they gave me money and helped me with boards and travel. And I think every kid that does anything, you know, at high level in sport, from Rory McIlroy the whole way down to me, is going to be supported by their parents some way along the line.
That's good. Can you tell us something about your business?
By my business?
Yeah.
What do you want to know? You ask me anything. How long it's been here? It's been here for 24 years.
Why you did this?
Yeah, we opened in 1990. I got, myself and my sister, who's in the cafe next door, got £500 from my mom when I was 16 years old, and we just opened up a little counter in my mom's shop selling wax and leashes, and we were the first surf shop. We were actually the first surf shop in the northwest of Ireland. We were only the third little surf shop in Ireland. And it was one counter selling leashes, wax, some wetsuits, some t-shirts, and that was back in 1990, and we've developed it ever since. Every year it's got a little bit bigger. Now we have a cafe, a surf school rental, I've got another surf shop, another surf school in various different places, so it's a progressive business. It gets bigger every year.
Yeah. So Richie, thank you.
That's no problem.
For
Interview? Yeah.
for the interview. Good luck with the business and your surfing.
Thank you very much. Enjoy Bundoran and enjoy the rain. Alright?
If they freed me from that prison and the railroad train was mine, but I'd move it on a little farther down the line. From Bolton prison, that's where I want to stay. And that train keeps a moving